clapping that ass until it's time to give birth. Has a whole other family
No.
3 blocks down the road. Keep
serious?
Sir, know your condom size and wear a condom.
Word on the streets, it's Bowls and Beats. What's good, everybody? And welcome back to another episode with your host, X. Today, I wanted to talk all about Punani wellness, and here to join the conversation is an expert on Punani wellness, okay? And just overall wellness, pregnancy, and relationships. My girl, Shanae.
Hi, everybody.
Let's give it up. Loving the love. How are you feeling today?
Frozen, but I'm good. Winter's a bully, because why was it raining-ish this morning, and then
Honestly.
right now it's snowing?
No, honestly.
Come
Mother
on,
Nature.
spring, fight. Gosh.
So for those of them that don't know what a doula is or what exactly you do, just explain briefly what that is.
So a doula is a trained emotional support worker. If I were to be pregnant right now and I need support and my mom is not able to support me, I'm going to need someone to come and baby me. And that's pretty much what a doula does. We create plans for family, especially if there's more than one kids involved, baby the mothers, or even if it's your first time, second time, third time. Every time you have a kid, there's something different that happens in the system, and we pretty much help you navigate that path and keep it as less stressful as possible. We help people with meal plans, meal prep, after prep. And because I do yoni, I tend to put yoni steaming as my postpartum package. So every doula has their own superpower. My superpower is the yoni aspect and the fact that I create my own products. So that also helps with the healing factor.
Right. So before we get into what yoni steaming is, I'm sure a lot of people are like, what? I just want to give you your flowers real quick because what you do is so important. So important. And I also just want to say this conversation is not just for women, it's for men too.
Yes.
We're talking about relationships, the importance of a man in a relationship during this time, especially if you want to have kids, you already have kids. This is definitely a conversation that you want to tune into. So
and also,
let's get to it. Yeah.
And before you continue, being a doula, I do not replace your partner. So your partner needs to be there. The only time I technically fill that gap is if you're a single mom and the person is not in your life, then that's different. But if you're married or in a relationship, hubby, please don't hire me and then dip off and go to your side piece.
That's stay tuned because oh man, do I have a little rant on that one. Ooh, for real. But let's stay on a positive note for now.
Yes.
So what is yoni steaming? I remember the first time I met her, we were actually at a wellness retreat. Yep. Loved it. Check out my Instagram. I posted a reel on it. And you talked all about yoni steaming. I was like, what? Like, what? A whole new world. Honestly.
So yoni steaming is you are steeping your vagina. It's like steeping tea. So you use hot water or warm water and you infuse it with the herbs, and you're either sitting over it, kneeling over it, child's posing over it, or you use something like this, which is a stool that you sit on and the steam comes up. And you spread the legs and make sure it gets all up in there.
Wow. You learn something new every day. Wow.
If you don't learn something every day, you're dead.
And what's the beneficial side of doing yoni steaming?
So we're going to talk from it from a woman's perspective and from a men's perspective.
Men can do it too.
Men can steam too, but it's called different. It's called lingam steam, which is the wand, their penis, right?
So steam your private parts, y'all.
Steam. Oh, well, sorry. Let me be stush for a second. Steam your pelvic area, not just your vagina, but your pelvic area. So the benefits of yoni steaming is mostly known for postpartum recovery because, you know, your body already went through trauma, technically speaking, from giving birth. And what you're doing is that you're healing your pelvic area, helping it to shrink back to its original size. It also helps with, let's say you've had a hemorrhage from after giving birth or from the tugging of the placenta and there's scarring on the womb. It helps with the healing of that. If you have painful periods, you're very bloaty, you're trying to get pregnant, you recently had an abortion, if your
Wow.
cycles are too short, if your cycles are too long, if you have fibroids, if you have endometriosis around the womb. Oh, did I cover it?
Wow, that's a long
Oh,
list.
and also if you had a bad breakup, or you have multiple partners. I had to touch that part. Yes.
No, that's really important, especially in this society.
I say it
100%.
all the time. And for the men, it's, as I said, it's called lingam steam, which is you're steaming the. So there's different ways. So you can do it as a soak, where you have the herbs and you put it in like a warm one and you actually soak your penis in it. Or you can do it similar to the woman, where you're steaming your butt and you're steaming like that little sweet spot between the butt and the balls, where it helps men with hemorrhoids. If you have what's the term? It helps with blood flow. So if you are a little bit on the erectile dysfunction side, but that can also be from other things too, because our generation is drinking, smoking, and a lot of the drinking helps with that too.
Literally everyone can do this.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's just that we live in Canada and they're very conservative, and we have sex, but no one should know that we're having sex, but we have children, but we're
Right.
still acting like we didn't have sex to have the children.
I'm honestly shocked that this isn't normalized or known. I haven't heard of this until like I met you. I never heard of this. I'm sure a lot of people haven't. And it's such a great way to heal with herbs, heal naturally, which clearly I'm a huge advocate for.
Yes.
So
yes.
why do you think that yoni steaming hasn't been as popularized or as normalized?
Women aren't open about talking about their sensuality and sexuality, because when they do, you're a hoe, or you're promiscuous, you're too promiscuous. Also, it's also a cultural background, right? Let's say I grew up Christian, so you talk about that, you're condemned. You're in the back of the church.
You don't.
You're in the
You
back of the
don't talk
church.
about it, yeah.
You don't talk about it, or if you do, you're condemned, or you're put in another place because you're not supposed to talk about that. You're not supposed to question stuff. Like, for example, I'm a grown woman. No one prep you for marriage. What does marriage include? How much sex do I need to have with my husband for my husband to be okay? Like, all these little things aren't talked about, which needs to be talked about. Sex, relationship, how to maintain a relationship. It's not just, hey, go to school, get a degree, go work. Okay, so how am I supposed to find this husband now? What is he supposed to look like?
So for the men, what can they do to kind of help their woman kind of maintain their pH balance, maintain that health down there, as well as if they're trying to conceive? How can they show up as a man? Because I feel like a lot of relationships are failing right now because women are working, they're taking care of the kids, and they don't feel like the man is bringing enough to the table anymore. So as men, what can they do to kind of step up their game and be there for their woman?
Be healthy, because most miscarriages are caused by men's sperm quality.
Really?
But it's always the woman it's always the woman that gets blamed, but it's the quality of the sperm that causes the miscarriage. Because remember, the sperm is what carry the DNA, right? So
Interesting.
if the sperm isn't strong enough to get to the egg, or it gets there but it's so tired it ain't got nothing left, it's always. So I would say, men, please go to the gym. Don't get me wrong, I love my liquor, I love my Ray and his nephew, but there's gonna be a time where you're gonna have to balance it out. Like, if you're a person that does serious family planning, as they call it, you want to set aside a year of just really getting healthy, like putting on the drink, if you smoke weed or cigarette or whatever, putting that down for a little bit, just because you want that quality. If you want to drift back into it every now and then, you can, but I say health is like the main important thing. Also, love languages. Knowing each person's love language, right? If you know your woman is quality time and active service, but you keep on giving her gifts and others of that she doesn't really find as her top, it kind of clashes, right? So really understand what your partner wants and seeing how best you can support her. So let's say you're not married, but you guys live together and you guys are cohabitating. She works, she's tired, you work, you're tired, but you're home before her. Don't sit down and wait for her to make dinner.
Right.
At least help her part way, and then you guys can do the rest together. It can be a bonding experience.
Right.
Even coming home and starting the laundry. People don't really pay attention to the little things. It's always the big thing, because we're in the life of social media where we want to post everything. We want to say everything out there so everybody knows that this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what's
It's
up.
not real life.
That's not
It's
what's up.
not real life.
That's not what's up.
No, no, no. Especially those couple influencers. Oh man, I'm telling you guys, 80% of those influencers are in a toxic ass relationship, and they're just still together for the content in the bag.
All
So
I can
you
say,
can't fully believe that, you know.
all I can say is I've only posted one guy that I was with, and that was an argument because I didn't post him because he thought I had a lot of men out there, and the one time I post him wouldn't last long. All my other relationships last long because we're not online.
Oh my god, you know
You
what
might
I've
see a
noticed
hand,
actually? The
you'll see
minute
a
a girl
hand.
starts bragging about her man online, something goes wrong.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. I will post a hand. I'll post a foot. I'll post a vehicle. But you ain't seen his face.
I mean, I can't argue with you there. I feel the same way. I mean, until there's a ring on it, I'm like,
Even though there's a ring on it, you're gonna get the back of him for a little while.
that's true. It doesn't stop them because, as we discussed briefly in the beginning, like most men cheat when their girls are pregnant, which is so fucking sad. That shit breaks my heart.
Can we touch on that?
That shit.
So, as my mom, shout out to my mom. As my mom made the reference of Elvis Presley when he got his wife pregnant. He kept on having affairs with other women because he just
Yeah.
couldn't see himself sleeping with his woman while he was pregnant. Guys, look at me right now. Guys, if you bust a nut in that woman and you breed her, you should still be clapping that ass until it's time to give birth. You want to know why? Because it will help it to slide out better. And the same thing that got it in there can get it out there. So if you really want that baby out, especially in the last trimester, bust a nut. Bust all the nut because semen can actually help the water to break. So there you go.
Oh my god. I'm here, a woman, shook. I can imagine the men. The men are probably mind blown.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna knock the baby in the brain, yo.
I'm gonna
It's
hurt
in
it.
an embryonic sac. It's protected.
So on that topic about women being pregnant and still kind of having to navigate your relationship, how can men show up during that time where they can also receive what they want? Because as we just mentioned, like a lot of the times when women are pregnant, men will go seek somewhere else because you know how pregnancy is, like mood swings, she doesn't feel like it, whatever it is. How can they kind of like control themselves and still show up for her too?
Honestly, it really depends on the dynamic of the person. So if that person is always or has always been loving, they always want to cater. A real man caters to their woman, even sometimes at their own expense. But also, women do not abuse your pregnancy rules. If you know you're okay, but you're just not in the mood, just say that. Don't use the baby as an excuse because it's going to cause a problem later on.
Mm.
So if you know you're down for it, as I said, I'm sorry for being vulgar. If you don't want to do it, open your mouth.
Yeah.
If you can't open your legs, open your mouth.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I mean, that's true. That's true.
You gotta compromise.
That's true.
Something is wrong with the woman if she's not horny, because the most horniest time for a woman's life is when she's on her period and when she's pregnant.
That's why I was kind of shook when I found out that a lot of partners cheat during pregnancy. Because I'm like, isn't that when she's like really horny though? Like,
Yeah, but as I said, it really depends on the woman too, because there's some women that have a rough pregnancy for the whole 9 months. And you have some that they don't get no morning
true.
sickness.
That's true.
They didn't know they were pregnant until they're feeling these weird pain in the abdominal. Like, I don't know if you ever watched those shows on TV. They're like, they didn't know they were pregnant.
Yeah.
Like those situations, which is like
That's
rare,
crazy.
right? So every situation, every relationship is different. You just have to know how to tackle it. And the man have to have the emotional intelligence. And I feel like a lot of men, a few men out there do not have the emotional intelligence to even cater. I think it's other boys in men's body. The men have to be open and willing. As I said, as a doula, I do assist people with a higher tax bracket for the most part, and I find based off that the men are very detached.
Mm.
So when they hire me, they kind of like step with. That's why I made that statement before, where when you hire me, you still kind of have to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take your time and slip away and go play video games for 2 hours. Or I'm going to go to the gym. I don't know if you're actually going to the gym, but I'm just gonna say
Right.
gym, right? Like those kind of things, I pay attention to those, right? I would, as I said, for people, they're like, hey, why don't you support these type of people? Because I always see white babies on your stories, and I'm like, because that's who's paying.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's who's paying, right? The people who really value what I bring to the table, they're not able to afford, right? Because I think my prices are reasonable, but for some people, they still can't afford it.
It's true.
But for those who can afford it, and this is what I don't like, they try to turn me into a nanny. Look, Pama good. I don't raise babies. I help to create methods that you're able to tackle certain things. So when I am no longer present, you're able to do it. I'm not coming to just do the work for you while you sit in your bed and watch TikTok
and
and Instagram.
Your job finishes when the baby is born.
I don't take clients in their last trimester, meaning like I don't
Okay.
do 30. You can't start with me at 30 weeks. Like I prefer when you know you're pregnant, you book me. Because at least when it comes to like that third month, I can start implementing like certain meal plans, exercises, give you little things of what
Right.
to help with your birth plan, all that kind of stuff, right? For postpartum, that starts whenever you check out the hospital, because I hate working in hospital spaces because it just feels very bombarded. As I said, I do birth work, but I find in the postpartum, I'd rather be in your home for that part. I don't want to be in the hospital
Makes sense.
unless you hire me as your birth doula and you get the most expensive package, which means I stay with you until you're discharged. That's different because the first night could be great or it could be horrible.
Okay.
Right? But for postpartum, I prefer being in the home, being able to see what the home looks like beforehand. So like when I do come in, I know exactly how to like organize stuff. So there's a system. I love organization and I love systems. And I find system works best way ahead of time. So it helps also with, as I said, high ticketed people or high paying clients, they love to talk about sleep training very early. And for me, I'm like, you have a newborn. You can't force the baby to have a sleep pattern. Like, what do you take this thing for?
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world. But we're in 2025. In Canada, that's not going to work.
I actually like that you do work with postpartum too, because not a lot of people, one, know what that is, or two, really understand that that's probably going to be the hardest part of the whole pregnancy. Like a lot of people think it's the pregnancy itself.
No.
A lot of times it's
It's
after
the recovery.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of people, especially men, don't know that and they don't know how to deal with it.
Oh, trust me. One of the clients that I ran into at the hospital, funny enough, every hour he was like, this is a lot of work. And I'm like, so when you stick your pee in her hole, that you didn't think about that?
Oof.
You didn't think about that?
That's why I refuse to have a baby with somebody unless there's a ring on it. I know you're serious. You're emotionally mature. I don't want to deal with that postpartum, let alone alone.
No. And the
That's
thing is,
difficult.
I've seen my mom. So my mom's married. She's married to was married to my dad, and she's married to my second dad, which we call stepdad. When my sister was born, my stepdad was up and down, took the baby to the clinic, changed the diaper. My mom's in bed sleeping, having a great time. My grandmother's helping her and stuff like that. Like, I would like to experience that.
Right.
And if I can experience, if my mom can't come from Jamaica and do that for me, I need to hire somebody exactly like me.
It's true.
Where I will come in. As I said, for me, as I said, clients are mostly non-black, so I can't cook for them. But if my clients are black and they do have Caribbean background, if that's what they want in there, that's also available, right? So all the soups, the
awesome.
chicken soup, or we say or the cow foot soup, because there's stuff in the cow foot that helps with recovery. Because in the Chinese culture, they have something called a 40-day confinement.
I've
which
heard of that.
You don't go anywhere for 40 days and you're only consuming warm stuff within the 40 days, nothing cold. And trust and believe, there's places where I do go that I have to implement those measures, and they don't like that. They want their raw salad. I'm like, man, you just had a C-section. You want to throw up?
Oh my God.
Sushi, to be exact.
You
Raw.
know what? We see a lot of that too. Like women in the hospital beds and it's like obviously a joke, but they have like sushi.
You can't. Because
So I think
people
it's really
actually
important what
follow
you do
that.
because people don't they are not educated. They just see things like that and they're like, okay, I want sushi too once I, deliver.
That's what I'm saying. It all comes back to the social media culture, because we have all these influencers that are out there showing garbage, and then people are dumb enough to follow it. And then, why am I throwing up? You're throwing up because you just got cut 7 layers to bring a baby to the earth side to birth, and you're gonna have sushi. Keep in mind, a C-section surgery or a cesarean, you're cutting through 7 layers of skin to get to the baby. So imagine you're getting stitched up, right? And you want to put sushi, guys. What's gonna happen?
Ouch, man.
You're gonna throw up.
So for people who don't know what postpartum is, and they're kind of like thinking either A, that's made up, because a lot of people think it's made up, which is very sad, or 2, they just don't know what it is. They don't know how to deal with it, what to do. What advice can you give to men when their woman is experiencing this?
Hire a doula. Hire a postpartum doula.
What if they can't afford it?
If they can't afford it, shoot, go to my website and buy my kits. Go to my website and buy my kits.
Here's the episode you need then.
This is the episode you need. But other than that, it's literally just being supported, because when women are pregnant, men are pregnant too. When women go through postpartum, men go through postpartum in different ways.
And you know what? Not knowing how to deal with it makes it even worse, right?
Especially if the woman ain't giving you no crutches. I mean, having sex during that 9 months. So the intimacy is gone, right? And once the intimacy is gone, he's already disconnecting. If you're a person who's really involved in the whole pregnancy option, I mean, the baby's happy, the mom's happy, he's not really going to have that issue with postpartum, other than you're going to have to get up at 2 a.m., midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. Newborns, you're on their schedule. Whenever they cry, they're hungry.
100%.
Or they want to be fed.
Actually just had a kid. She said the pregnancy was amazing. Her man has money, so like she was good. She was chilling. But after she gave birth, she's like, I was like depressed. She's like, I just felt different. I didn't feel like myself. She said her hormones, she could not control her hormones. They were everywhere. And then her man was like, it hurt me more than it hurt her, because she was just like so difficult to deal with. But that's what happens when you don't know what it is and how to deal with it, right?
Yes. And
so even for the ladies, like, what can they do when they're feeling this?
Ooh. Let's just say I've experienced a few in my practice where they're extremely difficult to deal with. They don't want to listen. I gotta laugh that one out. Let's just say
that story sounds like it has tea. What do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean?
I'll put
the guys need to hear it too, because these guys be going through some like serious shit, and they're like, is this normal?
Honestly, she'll just start crying for no reason. You literally have to consistently be affirming her, because she literally just pretty much died to give birth to your child. So you're literally gonna have to comfort her like the baby. Like, comfort is gonna be a huge thing. Listening is a huge thing. Having boundaries for your parents.
That's a good one.
Because that is what's going to break the camel's back in postpartum.
Right.
Is the parents wanting to come over right now, especially if parents who are very aggressive in wanting to be there, even though they're here for the baby, but not here for the mom.
Yes. Oh,
so
let's talk about that. Yes. Be there for the mothers. Everyone's always, how's the baby? How's the baby? How's the mom?
And that's how some of it starts, is that they're more concerned about the baby. The baby's fed. The baby's fed. The bus getting changed. They smell like babies. But, okay, mom, did you eat today? What did you eat? Always show up to a postpartum mother's house with food. There is Google. Google what food is safe for women in postpartum recovery, and you show up with that.
No, honestly, that will solve like 50% of your problems.
98% of your problems.
98. You hear that? 98.
That's one of my other special powers. Whenever I have a session, I'm showing up with something. It's the little things.
Right.
The food, the snacks. Like, even when I have my intake form for potential clients, I ask them what their favorite food is. I asked them, if you were to give birth right now, what would be the first thing you want to eat? That's homework, because I need to have an idea and see if that's something that I can actually provide right after. Because imagine, it's almost like a push present gift from your doula. I can't give you a Range Rover or a house like your husband should, but I can show up with food or a snack or something that brings out that inner child. Like, oh my God, it's something great.
Yeah.
Thank you for rewarding me with this because I did a good job.
I think push presents are absolutely amazing.
If you want to have a baby shower and you know you don't really have certain things, tell your guests to pay $100 and that goes towards your postpartum care. You don't want the gifts, you want the money to give you the service that you actually need for
That's a good one. I like that.
that beneficial.
That's a good one. Yes.
That I would endorse.
That is a good
But
one.
just to come and give me a box of everybody give me a box of Huggy diapers.
Right.
And
then never talk
formulas?
to me again or help me or offer to come over. Like, thanks.
Come
I mean,
over
back
to my
then
house.
it was like it took a whole village to raise a kid, right?
But
I feel
now
like women are very isolated now.
now
more
you have to
difficult.
pay for your village. Back then
Yeah,
you used to
yeah.
have your village, your mom, your
Yeah.
grandmother, your neighbor's grandmother, whatever. Now you
Right.
have I am the village. A doula is considered the village. Your
Yeah.
your midwife is considered the village as well too. So you kind of have to really prep for what you want. You
Yeah.
can't just
Which is why men be picky too with who you're having babies with.
please,
Like,
sir.
it's not just for women. Men be picky too because she could be
Please.
crazy.
Please,
She could
sir.
be crazy.
Please pick them wisely. Don't just get the stiff titty and big ass that's filled with silicone and she looks good on your arm like a nice sexy arm candy, but the bitch can't cook, the bitch can't clean,
Right.
she can only suck and fuck. That
And
cannot
do you
sustain
really
a family.
love her? Because you're going to be dealing with that postpartum, that trauma. And are you going to really be there for her? Or are you kind of like, I just wanted to hit it?
Hit it to win it.
Because then you hear that, oh, she's crazy. Is she crazy? Or did you just put a kid in her and not want nothing to do with her?
Well, it all comes down to sex ed.
I agree.
Sir, know your condom size and wear a condom.
Very true.
Oh, it don't feel right. It's getting soft. Do you know your actual size, sir? Because condoms can actually blow up really big. If you know your regular Trojan size, do not get a Trojan XL. You're gonna swim. If you know you're a Durex man, get Durex. If you know you're a Trojan man, get Trojan. But you can't be going around there having sex with multiple women with no protection. And because I'm coming from a Jamaican cultural background, a lot of Jamaican men aren't circumcised. And a lot of them don't know how to pull the foreskin back and actually clean. That's how shit starts spreading. Women's pH getting kicked off. We catching disease that we didn't know was a thing until it's too late. And then because you're running through so many men, you don't know which men to contact. And then it comes back to, I don't want to, what is steaming my vagina? Why should I do that? Girl, you have multiple partners.
Yeah.
And they're different sizes. I mean,
No, honestly.
I don't endorse multiple partners myself personally. But if you are about that life, you should be maintaining, just like how you get the stiff breasts and stiff ass and fat ass, you should be maintaining your vagina, especially if you're handing it out everywhere.
No, that's very true. I feel like steaming would be more important now than ever for everybody. It's been so normalized just to kind of do what you
It's
want.
normalized in the States. Here, it's still a hard sell.
Right.
The only time it's an easy sell for me is if I go into the lifestyle community. So the community that does the poly and the swinging and stuff like that, that is welcome in those circles 1000%. But in the regular world where we're still in this la la land and denial that we don't use our vaginas but we're having kids is wild to me. You're freaking over 30. Why am I talking to you like you're 6?
It's
Your
so
little
true.
thing down there. What am I doing saying that?
Honestly, if you can't even have a mature conversation about sex, come on. You got some growing up to do still.
Yeah, or I'm too vulgar because it's biology. Did we not take biology in school?
Some people
Sorry,
aren't listening.
perineum.
Do you find that because people are having sex with multiple people that's kind of the downfall for relationships lasting nowadays?
It's a give and take. We're not digging deeper. Oh, I love him. Skin out your leg and go breed for the guy, not knowing that the guy has a whole other family
Ooh.
3 blocks down the road.
Which is why you need to have discipline. I feel like personally, I'm speaking for myself. I've never been the one to kind of just sleep around either. Just for that
It's
reason,
hard.
I'm not. It's kind of dirty. Let's be real.
It's hard. Let's just say, like, after my last relationship, I was like, you know what, this good girl shit ain't working. Let me see if I can be a hoe. But I just couldn't do it because it just felt weird, because I still like to have someone that I can
Right.
call and talk, and not just clap that ass and then go, and then the next 2 weeks or a month from now clapping that ass again. And
Yeah.
it's
Honestly, I feel like it's just a lack of discipline. Like, no one's judging you saying you can't sleep with, multiple people, but if you can't
Sleeping-
control yourself,
Sleeping with multiple people is a rich sport. Sleeping with multiple people, man, is a rich sport. And a lot
Honestly,
of
look
broke
at
men are
Elon
doing
Musk.
it.
he has like 13 kids, 12 baby mamas,
Listen, he got
but he's
the
a billionaire.
he got the moolah to say, "Here, baby mother number 1, 10 and 13. Here's some money. Make sure my kids okay. Job Johnny.
Right? 5 doulas for you, 5 doulas for you.
A doula, a nanny, and a maid."
No, honestly, unless you're ready to give her that, you should not be sleeping around, especially unprotected. I mean, that's just, I don't know. You're connecting with the soul. There's something about having discipline that I feel like makes the connection so much stronger between people. And because
Yes.
people don't have discipline, and whether it's social media or in real life, we're sort of losing that touch on what it means to be in a relationship and the importance of being in a relationship.
We lose a lot of touch on a lot of things, to be honest. Like, I remember us having a conversation with a guy just the other day, and we were having this, like, obviously intimate conversation. And I said to him, I keep telling you, I'm not swallowing. You're not my husband. Because, in the Instagram space, especially in the Jamaican section, they always say, if you swallow it, it's if you spit it out, it's child abuse, but if you swallow, it's so and so. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna be doing child abuse, because there's no way I'm swallowing, because you're not my husband. Keep in mind, sperm travels with DNA. Imagine now I go swallow 20 different types of sperm now, and I decide to go settle with this rich man now, living my best life and giving birth to this beautiful baby, and then I realize the baby's having some traits of some like ex-man that I used to sleep with.
Stop. No.
Keep
serious? I would actually trip out. I'd be like, wait a second.
But keep in mind, as I say, keep in mind, sperms carry DNA. If I don't even like cold going down my throat,
No, she's right. I
I don't
mean,
want it down there either.
no, honestly, like, if we're talking raw, right? Like,
Yeah.
doing anything raw, you're just creating a connection, and people are just out here kind of giving themselves to everyone, and then wondering
what I'm
why they feel so
saying.
drained, why they
And
don't
tired.
feel good. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're supposed to find a husband and give that to that one person, not blow out 10 man from TO, then blow another 10 from Brampton, and then 10 another one from Scarborough. Like, it racks up, because it also plays on the woman's psyche as well. Think about the women that are in the industry that actually sell them body for a living, right? With all of that work that they're doing, the amount of drugs that they take and stuff like that, it plays on the mental, right? All this stuff is mental,
Yeah, it's true.
and it works out into the physical, because everything that we have mentally, it turns out into disease in our body.
It's true.
Nobody wants to put work into relationship anymore.
It's true.
It's just simply microwave, plug it in, put it for 2 minutes, and pull it out.
It's true. It's the work, and no one wants to put in work because there's so much access.
You don't want to suck my dick? I'm going to go on my IG, Instagram DMs, and this girl's going to suck my dick because I seen her OnlyFans. She going to do it.
I lie?
You know what's crazy though? It's like, I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of guys feel like ashamed. Like, women aren't also sexual beings. Like, oh, if I tell her like I have this urge, she's gonna look at me weird or think I'm like a dog. It's like, we're dogs too.
Like, I find with my partners that I've had or have, I find that my sexual urge is way higher than theirs. But I don't advertise that I have a high sex drive. But it would be nice if you could match it. The Lord created toys for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind how toys, and this is what I found on the internet. Thank you, internet. So women in the early 19 whatever was suffering from um there was an age for that. I forgot the age for it, but technically it's the lack of orgasms. So they used to go to the doctor, and the doctor would finger them and release them as a part of uh yeah.
You know, the next time your girl says she has a doctor appointment, go with her. Make sure you go with her.
That don't happen no more. But that was in the 19 whatever, right? And this doctor was like, listen, man, I can't keep doing this and she's getting off. I need to create something. And that's how toys were created. So, guys, don't compete with the toy. Do a tag team with the toy. Same for you ladies.
Right.
Right? But some people aren't like that. So you have to really know what makes your woman or your man really gets off and really play into that. The more you play into it, the more you'll get your way.
Exactly.
It's just that we have to listen. A lot of us women aren't in tune to our intuition and we don't know our body. So it doesn't help. Back then, I didn't know my body like that. So
It's true. You got to know yourself, know
You
your
didn't
body. Even
know.
guys know your body, right?
yeah.
I'm even going to bring something up. Like you said, yoni steaming helps with erectile dysfunction. Is that what you said that right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a huge problem for guys nowadays because of all the porn, the fast food, the drugs, the
Let
alcohol.
me speak into the mic one time. There's a capsule or herb or a powder called Dong Kai Ali. It helps with testosterone. It helps with it helps in building testosterone. So if you know that you're lacking testosterone, which is also another reason why you have erectile dysfunction, that also helps with that. You also have what you call maca roots, and you have ashwagandha. Those are like my 3 top herbs that I like to recommend people to start using, but use them on and off. Don't just go like for months straight, like do like a week or 2 weeks on, 2 weeks on, and you keep going back and forth. But that's how I normally would drop hints. So here's my free tip.
And I love that you're giving this information because a lot of people will go to like a quick resource. Kind of like when women want, the big butt, the big boobs, it's like the quick option out is to get the surgery. A lot of guys will like go to, I don't know, Viagra, pills, whatever it is, just to
Yeah,
get
but
that quick fix.
Viagra is good, but after a while you have to get a stronger dose of Viagra. So you can get the lowest part of the Viagra. It's like porn stars. You get the lower level of Viagra and you keep on going higher and higher until it no longer works. So now what could they use to reset their body so they can go back to what they're used to until their body chips out again? So.
Wow. And do you find that relationships are actually harder to be in nowadays?
Of course it is.
And why do you think that is? What do you think people can do to kind of fix the way relationships are headed now? Obviously, you're in this field where you see pregnancy, you see relationships, you're around that. So what advice can you give to people to maintain the healthiest relationship nowadays? If they're serious, like this is a girl you want to wife up, you want to make, the mother
Listen,
of your
I
kids.
can't even give them come. I'm still trying to get wife up, guys. See, I don't got no ring. I ain't got no ring, guys. But for me, I think communication is a big thing for me. So being able to communicate exactly what you want and what you like. Obviously not out the gate because you don't want to give the man the recipe for him to trick you into being with him and he shows you his true side. So over time, like actually trying to build. I feel like people don't want to build. Really talking through when you trigger a person, if that's the word I want to use, trigger the person, or you're doing something that bring back a memory that they don't like,
right?
Or it hasn't been a great experience for them.
Exactly.
How do you navigate through that for the both of you, not just for him or her, but for yourself too, so you don't repeat that pattern,
right?
Because that could be the make or break on a relationship as well. It's too true.
I mean, we talk about this whole 50-50 thing a lot nowadays.
Oh, Jesus.
But I feel like the problem with that situation is women are doing more than 50-50. As women, we've evolved.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't feel like men have evolved. And I think that's the problem, is they're not evolving with us. And
some do.
Now it's like we're working, we're giving birth, we're taking care of the kids, taking care of them, cooking, cleaning, and they're just going to work, coming home.
You have some that are
you
very
have to evolve
involved
emotionally. You know what I mean?
You have some that are involved and you have some that are not involved. Keep in mind, it's also the example. I've dated guys that have a single mom and their behavior is different than a man that is brought up with both a mother and father. So I try when I'm dating now is to try and make sure I date a guy that has a mother and a father in their life, not just the mother. Because I grew up with a mother, father, and an extra father, which is my stepfather. So there's certain standards that I have for myself, hence why I'm not married yet, hence why I don't have children yet, because I want that standard, and that standard is not seen in other places because it's not there.
Right. And I feel like that's why a lot of people aren't getting married nowadays. That's why
Yep.
it's not really working. It's because
Yeah.
I think guys aren't they're not stepping up their emotional game. Women have stepped up their financial game.
Yeah.
We're acting more masculine now, but the men
Unfortunately.
aren't tapping into their emotional side. They're not stepping up their femininity, right?
Well, that
So
also,
it's like an imbalance.
well, also that also causes women, especially in the black culture, to date outside of their race because they have evolved as a woman. They're able to earn 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever. But a lot of them are still masculine, but they're not able to step in their feminine energy, which we can talk about that.
Yeah.
But you have some women that are 6, 7 figures, that is feminine, that is willing to submit, but she doesn't find her male counterpart that matches, and that forces her out of dating a black guy. She wants to have black babies, but she's not finding that guy that is able to be with her at that level without making her feel away for her earning that money. So that's encourage her to think that, oh, I'm gonna have to go date a white guy, or I'm gonna have to date a Latino guy, or whatever, because that culture, the men are able to do the providing, the protect. Even if he's not making as much as her, he's gonna make sure that he makes her feel loved, protected.
Right.
So it
And that's
doesn't
the part
matter.
that I think they're not getting. It's not working because you need to step up your emotional game. If women don't need you for their money anymore, what
No.
do they need you for then?
Dick,
It's got to be something,
dick,
right?
and a warm
It's got to be
bed.
more than dick, because if that's the case, we can just sleep around, right? It's normalized.
No, we can get heated blanket.
You need emotional connection. That's the key, fellas. I'm sorry. I know you're lazy. You don't want to put in the work, but that's the truth. Like, if your woman doesn't need you for money, she's gonna need you for some sort of connection, right?
Or it might end up in a situation where she doesn't want to put the work either. That's why you keep on getting starfish, and then she gives her side man the lizard lap, the bacas, the sideway, head punch, shoulder. The side man get all the good thing, but you get all the boring stuff because you're not putting in the work. You
It's
gotta
true.
put the work for her to be the fruit that you want, that you see on the blues or you see on the
Yes.
porn. And I think that's what men are not realizing. If once you invest into that woman the way she's supposed to be invested in, you'll get to see another side of her that you've never experienced. And then you're actually like, okay, I've invested this much. I don't want her to leave. No, I'm gonna lock you down now.
Making her feel wanted, which is why social media is so toxic.
I hate social media.
Because the minute you're liking another girl's picture, oh, he don't want me, he wants her. Like, you gotta pursue
You
your
cheating
woman.
because you like the
Yeah.
girl's picture on IG.
Yeah, or a Snapchat, whatever. It's like, okay, you don't want me, you want that.
Listen,
So you think she's gonna want to be freaky for you? No.
no,
Come on.
no.
Come on.
And this is why I say for me, I like a very secure man. Because, I mean, don't watch how I look right now, okay, guys? I look very different on road when I need to go on road, okay? And I need to make sure that my partner is secure in himself. Like, okay, let me see what you're wearing tonight. Yeah, man. I want to know that you got like 3 guys coming at you tonight or so. Like, we have those type of jokes. And when he gets his hair done, his lineup is nice, I'm like, yeah, so you gonna get phone numbers tonight? Like, you're looking real sweet, you know. Come over, let me talk to you real quick. Like, you know, I'm like, even those little interactions.
Yes. Exactly.
Which man don't like when their woman is drooling over them? Especially when you get that fresh cut.
No, honestly.
That fresh cut. When that barber put that heart and soul to make sure that the 2 sides are lining up right.
Also something for the girls.
Yes.
We get that ego boost
Yeah.
just by posting a damn story. Okay.
Yeah. Do it for business purposes only.
Yes.
Don't try to find your love on Instagram.
No,
They might be
honestly.
catfishing you.
No, for real. Well, with summer around the corner, we're all gonna be outside soon. Okay.
Go to the golf course. Not the cheap one. The one that you have to get a membership to enter. And a membership to have the classes to be on the golf course.
Very true.
There's a lot of women out here giving tips on how to have a soft life, ladies. So figure it out.
I also think that's a big issue. I think a lot of guys want a soft life nowadays.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I'm doing this phase isn't because, like, I don't think men should relax or whatever, but men thrive off of adrenaline, off of challenges, off of pushing their physical body to the max. You know what I mean? Whereas women aren't so much built like that. So if you're not working, you're out here living a soft life,
Listen.
boy.
Listen, I love
you're not finding your purpose.
a man in a wife beater, aka a men tank top, fixing this car or fixing the listen, I love to be a damsel in distress. Listen, my sink is clogged. Oh my God, I can fix that shit myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
oh my God, I've been trying to fix this thing all week and I just can't get it done. And just like, okay, babes, I got you. Take this shirt off, take this pants off. And it's just like, all right, where's the plunger? Where's the...
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, you fixing that, daddy? You fixing that? Like, you know what I mean?
For real. I mean, you can't expect your girl to be submissive and respect you as the man if you're too busy living the soft life for her. If you're too busy being the princess, go do something.
It's also like doing what we call shadow work and figuring out why we're not able to tap into that side. I wasn't always like this. I used to be very masculine.
Oh, me too. But
but
back, I'm like,
to run a business, you have to be in your masculine bag because you're
yes.
trying to go get it.
Yes, and this is where I was just saying, like, men need to step up their game too. Because if we're now kind of tapped into our masculinity without a choice, we need to work nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Survival.
We don't have a choice but to tap into that. Y'all have to step it up and tap into your femininity with the emotions and learn how to connect on a deeper level.
Oh, yeah, babe. I
right?
see you working hard. I see you getting that bag. You know what? I'm just going to plug the machine in for you, but come, pass the coconut. Let me rub that foot bottom for you, girl. I see you on them feet. I see you on the runway strutting your stuff, and you look like a bad bitch. You're
You hear
my
that? Take
bad
notes,
bitch.
word for word, write this down.
You're my bad bitch.
And watch what happens.
You're my bad bitch. You know what? Can I buy that outfit that you walk on the runway with? Da 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 da. There's so many different
Well, I mean,
things.
same vice versa for men. A lot of them think being masculine means like money, right? Being a dick, like, oh, I'm the leader. No, it means making your woman feel safe. Whenever you're around, she's like, I'm good because my man has my back, physically, mentally, emotionally.
It's great that sometimes you can go out with your partner and you don't have to walk with your purse.
100%.
And that was
Top
a program.
3 best feelings.
That is a program I had to definitely unlearn, and I'm still not good at it. I still sometimes bring my purse,
Yeah.
but I don't need to bring the purse.
Yeah. I saw this quote the other day, and I'm just going to end off this conversation with this.
Okay.
The most important thing you can provide for your girl is a life that's stress-free.
Ooh.
That is what it means to be rich. Living a life where your nervous system is calm.
Ooh.
That is a good life.
Ooh, that's a great life.
That's a great life. That's what men need to do. That's it.
I smell it in the air.
Financial help and making your girl's nervous system feel calm. Ooh, she's not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
You don't need to trap her with a baby. Trap her with your emotions, okay?
Please stop doing that, guys.
So before we wrap it up, what can you tell the audience if they're trying to conceive, if they're thinking about having kids or getting pregnant? What's the best advice you can give to a couple? So to the both of them.
Go on a health plan. Go to the doctor. Go get tested. Figure out what your blood type is, because sometimes your blood type can be one of the major factors of you either getting pregnant or keeping the pregnancy, because blood type clashes.
Oh.
If you guys are drinkers or smokers or whatever, put that down for a year or two. It's actually family planning. So meal plan, working out together, doing things together, like building that whole intimacy part. And please don't make having a baby like a chore. Do not schedule it like a chore. Actually, do something spontaneous, because that's when the magic happens.
Yes.
Treat it like you guys are young teenagers and you guys are just horny as heck. You just got to get it out.
And for those of you that don't have kids yet, be picky, be smart, okay, and stay healthy out here. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. Comment, like, subscribe. Go follow my girl, okay? Get all the advice and tips you need from her. And have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Word on the streets. It's Bowls and Beats. Bye. I got so educated.